Yes, I'm Suzanne Shank. I'm president, CEO, and a co-founder of Siebert Williams Shank. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. Independence to me is multifaceted. It means having a degree of autonomy and the power to make one's own decisions. I think I've always thought of independence as being financial independence, not relying on others for financial well-being. But I think it's also emotional independence, being able to express freely your thoughts and feelings without fear of retribution or judgment, and personal freedom, the ability to make choices about, relationships, lifestyle, personal beliefs. I learned about hard work from both of my parents, but I learned about women and money from my mother, who was a consummate saver. And she still is today. She turns 90 this year. But she managed our household. My dad just handed over his check every week or 2 weeks, and she managed the money. She always worked, until she retired. And I learned from her the power of savings and the traps of trying to compete with others. She always said, don't keep up with the Joneses, a common statement we used in the South. I really didn't know much about Wall Street until I went to Wharton Business School. And so I feel like I missed a lot of opportunity to, buy a Louis Vuitton piece of stock as opposed to, pining for a purse. And I think that would be the message I would give my 20-year-old self. My first career was as a civil structural engineer. I was busy working my way up within the company and hoping, to make my way up the ranks. And I figured the best way to do that was to go pursue my MBA. I guess the competitive spirit within me said, if these other people are, trying to get these high-powered jobs on Wall Street, why shouldn't I? But I really didn't have those networks or connections. So a few second-year students gave me a few names, and I literally got a subway map and took a train for the first time to New York by myself and knocked on several doors till I convinced a company that they should hire me for a summer internship. And after that, I really didn't have to look for another job. They sort of came my way. So that was really how I, got my foot in the door. I would say every opportunity for advancement in my career has been the result of mentorship. I never planned to be a founder or entrepreneur. And it was really Muriel Siebert and another principal in the firm, Napoleon Branford, who said, we want you to be president and CEO. And this was in 1996. I was more of a worker bee, viewed myself to be much more technical, a little shy, didn't want to go out and pitch business very much. But because they basically recommended it, I, decided, well, if they're willing to bet on me, why shouldn't I bet on myself? I'm proud that, I run a women-owned investment bank, which there aren't very many of us. There are literally a handful on Wall Street right now. There are very few women CEOs. But I think also I'm very proud that we have a foundation, and one of our primary goals of our foundation is to be an advocate for women and girls worldwide. So we give, for example, to the paralyzed veterans group that are women. And we try to support as many women's causes and women's organizations that we can. And I think in my own firm, I'm very proud that we have women leading groups and sectors and, in a managerial role. So I've been, just pleased with the little that I've been able to do and hope that, it will have long-lasting impact.